everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome to a conversation on filmmaking with today's guest, Aaron Collins. Aaron was a line producer on Him and Her, and he's an incredible human being. He does a lot of things and wears a lot of hats in filmmaking other than just line producing. And I think he's going to come on in a moment. And if you hear kind of like an annoying creature, this is Bella. She's gotten a little needier, and she was pretty needy before, but she's gotten needier since the pandemic and gotten used to having us all home all the time. So she's, yes, a constant shadow and companion, which is great. And I'm going to bring Aaron on with us right now. Aaron is joining. We had a little Facebook snafu today. Hi, how are you?
Hey, how's it going?
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. It's been too long.
It's been a long time, like a little pandemic in between.
Yeah, just, little one, little one.
Yeah, thing happens. How
Yeah.
are you?
I'm wonderful. I'm excited to be here. Honored that you would want to interview me for the work that I did on your guys' project, and yeah,
Oh,
love to
thank
talk
you.
about
Thank
it.
you. Thank you so much for making time for us and for doing this and for being part of the project. You were a huge part of the project. I could not have done it without you.
Ah, thanks. You guys, I'm sure you guys would have got it done, but I'm happy that I was able to be a part of it and help you guys get it through to the end. It was a lot of fun.
No, thank you. We appreciate you. For sure would not have been the same without you. Absolutely. So maybe
Yeah.
not everybody who's watching and who's watching later the recorded version knows what a line producer is. And I know that's not all that you are, but you did line producing for us. So what could you tell everybody what is that?
Line producers. So we build the budget based on, the overall amount of resources we have to complete the project. And, and then we go and we execute that budget, find the right pieces for to fit the puzzle. And we got to fit within the margins of the budget and make it work and help the director's vision come to life without, without going over budget or, you know, making sure we get it all in the can.
And what is the difference, or is there a difference between a line producer and a UPM, which is a unit production manager?
UPM is more of like a Directors Guild designation. So line producer would like pretty much kind of, if there is a line producer, they will build the budget and kind of build the beast and oversee a production manager if it was a DGA project, and just oversee the UPM as they kind of go through the task of hiring the department heads, letting everyone know how much they have to spend within their departments and overtime, and all the not so creative stuff. But it's still important all the same. So that I would say that's the biggest difference between a line producer and a UPM is just that DGA designation.
I
So
think there's a lot of creativity in budgeting.
yeah, it is kind of playing Tetris, So yeah, it can be. There is an art to it, that is for sure, because you find the pieces first that fit within the confines. Once you find those pieces, then you have to figure out the give and take on, like the director really needs to have this thing. Okay, well, if you need that, then what can we compromise over here to kind of reallocate, readjust those funds. So this way you can get what you really, really want. So
Yeah.
there's a little bit of Tetrisizing.
And sometimes people come to you with like, we've raised this much money, so the movie has to cost ABC, and
Yeah.
sometimes you do a budget beforehand and say, like, the script needs to cost XYZ, and so you need to go raise XYZ.
Yes, exactly. So sometimes if there's a set amount that the producer has, you try to back the budget into that amount, and you have to be realistic with the producers and tell them like, yeah, we can do it for this, or no, it's not going to work. And that's the fine line right there, is just having that integrity to be able to tell the producer like, you don't really have it. Let's come back to this when you have it, because if you go down the line with the producer knowing that they're going to be over budget, that just, it's you never want to go over budget. So it's better to just be upfront and say, I think you should go out and raise more money if you want to execute it the way you're thinking. So so that's one way to do it. And then the other way to do it is if you have a script first and you break it down, and it's going to take 20 days to shoot, and this is how much it's going to cost. Like, a lot of factors come into play too, like how much special effects, how many stunts, how many big locations you have, extras, all those things. So yeah, I like building budgets that way, because then it's just like, okay, look, let's do let's do the world here, and then we'll bring it back to reality as we kind of go through, and who's the cast and things like that. So it's a little more fun to go big and then kind of pull it back than to have to start from a set place and you know
Yeah.
really get in the trenches.
Yeah.
So
So what was your experience on our film? I'm kind of like, while you're talking, I'm thinking like, what things can we share and what are things that are like, unfortunately,
still
things that
top
we can't
secret.
share in terms of like
Yeah.
how we did this so inexpensively.
Yeah, so this was had a lot of fun aspects to it, and some things that we never had that I'd never done before, where like the actors didn't see each other, and still still kind of top secret until the release. And so yeah, that was an interesting thing that I had never done before, and like kind of getting all the pieces together to where um, we can execute that and still keep Ice's vision for like, no, they can't see each other until the premiere.
Yeah.
That was a little interesting to achieve. And then working with we had a crew that their attitudes were just top notch, and yeah, I enjoyed working with every single person on the show. And
I enjoyed working with almost every single person on the show.
right. Well,
Just try to keep it real, Aaron.
yeah, I know. I know what you're talking about, but
Yeah, I know. I know. It's okay.
but as as the general with the troops, I have to keep it,
Yes, yes.
I got to
No,
keep
you
it
were
at a
excellent.
certain level.
You were excellent at having a very like even keeled positive attitude because that's not something I brought every day. So I
Yeah,
appreciated it
I
in
mean,
you.
I mean, doing yoga in the front yard, gotta do those things like that. So,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, and we had some cool locations. I can't wait to see, how it comes out in the edit and stuff. And
Will you be out on
Charlie,
the 24th? Will you be able to come?
this month,
Yeah.
or yeah, let me look at this. Yeah, I think I could actually. Because I'm shooting a film right now, so that's like
Oh
right in the
gosh.
middle of our shooting.
Oh
So,
gosh, you're gonna be
but
exhausted.
it's on the weekend, so I think I can definitely
Okay.
be there.
Well, I will
So,
get you to get we talk offline. But yes, I'd
yes,
love obviously love for you to be there.
that'd be awesome. But yeah.
So I sorry, I interrupted you. I think you were saying something about Charlie with
Oh,
yeah.
it was amazing, like the picture, like with the amount of resources we had, what he was able to capture with the camera, and working with Nacho and Spencer, and just kind of shaping the lights and everything, and just kind of all the foreground action. It was beautiful, you know.
Yeah.
I really loved, the first portion of our shoot when we were over at Nate Starkman and shooting his side of it. Set deck was beautiful, and yeah, had a lot of creative, like, feel to it, very ice.
Yes, very nice.
So, yeah, I think we have something beautiful here. I can't wait to see it.
I'm excited for you to see it. So what are you working on right now? Or can you talk about it or is it under wraps?
Uh, it's a little under wraps. I mean, I'm doing an LA unit for a bigger
Got
film
it.
shot, like in Europe and stuff. So, yeah, so we shoot the last 2 weeks of this month, and just kind of been
Okay.
in prep mode.
Yeah.
So,
It's a lot
yeah,
also.
yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, it'll be fun. It's all night stuff. So, yeah.
Have you done any lower budget films like ours since ours?
I did one in Oklahoma. So
Oh,
it was like right at the beginning of the pandemic, and then we kind of had to go on hiatus, which was like the first time that I've ever had to do something like that, go on hiatus in the middle of a shoot for like no, well, not for no reason, but like for
Yeah.
a reason outside of the shoot. So
Yeah.
that was interesting having to shut down. And then we started back up like in September of that year, and it was interesting having to
It is
bear
actually
down. And
thundering
then,
in Los Angeles. Is it
yeah, I
thundering near
know.
you as well?
Not thundering, but definitely drizzling.
Wow. I just got thunder. I feel privileged. It's like a blessing on our Insta Live. And I miss this from Texas. I miss a thunderstorm.
Mm, yeah, good thunderstorm lightning. When I visit family out in New Mexico, we just watch the lightning storms off in the distance. Very beautiful. Yeah.
That's gorgeous.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So with COVID, how has that affected line producing? Like, what does that add to an already stressed out, tight budget?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So whatever your budget is, add 10% to it. So it's not cheap. It's expensive. You got all kinds of different parameters for different zones. So they got like zone A, those are the people that are basically the irreplaceable, like if they go down, like you're done shooting. So those people, they're testing 3 times a week. Then you got zone B, who are kind of like in between zone A and uh, the outskirts of that bubble, so to speak. And they test a few times a week. And then zone C, that's like production office and stuff like that. So, and then you
Has
got like
prices come down since things have
a little
started? Because I know
bit, just a
we
little
used to
bit,
pay
not
like
a whole lot.
$150 to get a rapid test, and now they have like home tests from CVS that are cheaper.
Right. I'd say the rapid tests are still about the same, but like the 24-hour ones have definitely gone down. They're like $60 or something like that. Yeah. Um,
Cool.
so yeah, so that's definitely changed, and like catering and how many people to a table, how many people in a production pass van. So like your vans go up, your drivers go up. It's just like a domino effect of costs that you just have to figure it out.
And now there's like a
It's
new
just
position called a COVID compliance officer.
yes, COVID compliant officer. So they oversee uh uh basically you got to build like a spreadsheet and like track everyone's testing and like and just making sure everyone's up to date on their testing and sending out the questionnaire 24 hours before, the symptoms. Are you having any symptoms? Have you been in contact with anyone? Um, and then, they have their own little team that's on the set where they're wiping everything down every couple hours, taking temperatures. Yeah, it's
Whole new
definitely
world.
like, yeah, right. And I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. So it's just kind
Yeah.
of got to get used to it now, I guess.
Well, we have a
So,
comment from somebody that said you are one of the most driven directors they've ever had the privilege to work with.
oh, hey, oh, Luis, what's up, man?
That's a
Um,
pretty high compliment. So, in addition to being a line producer, you also direct.
yes, I just shot a short. I shot a short about a month ago, so I'm in post on it right now. And
Exciting.
yeah, Luis was
Congrats.
one of my yeah, thank you. Luis was one of my actors, so I appreciate
Very
that,
cool.
Luis. Well, I'll call you later.
Is that
Um,
the direction you want to go in storytelling and filmmaking, or do you want to just bounce between different aspects?
yeah, definitely want to just pivot more into directing. Like, okay, so the the pandemic kind of just helped me focus on that, or like it helped me reconnect with that aspect of my journey in this industry. And yeah, towards the end of 2020 and the beginning of 2021, I probably turned down like 5 movies where they wanted me to UPM line produce, ranging
Wow.
from ranging from like non-union to like tier three. So yeah, I
Wow.
just yeah. So
Good for you.
um, focusing on that, seeing where it goes. So we'll see.
So
Maybe in
cool.
November I'll do a screening.
I would love to see it. And does this
Yes,
mean that
you're
you're telling
invited.
me that you're not gonna like be available for my next film?
Well, there are exceptions. There are maybe like 3 people
Oh,
that I would line produce for, and you're one of them, Indy.
yay! Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So,
I
but
gotta get
yeah,
grandfathered in there somehow.
yeah, somehow, come on, let's do it.
Awesome.
I'm excited for your next film. When are we gonna talk about it offline? When are we gonna
Oh
break it
yeah.
down and
I have a
get going on
script, but
that?
it's not done. So I mean, it's not tight, but it's
Okay,
getting there. Yes,
okay, okay,
soon.
cool. All right,
For sure.
we'll break it down. We'll get it going.
I love it. Thank you. What kind of things do you want to direct?
Uh,
I like the most boring, like basic, like hard
Yeah,
question.
yeah, it is kind of a tough one, but for me, I'm like, like old school Spielberg, like these really big and epic and adventure movies. That's kind of
So
what
like
I want.
low budget indies, like
Yeah, very very low budget indies, or kind of like some David Ayer stuff, real gritty LA. That those are kind of my two zones I like to go back and forth in terms of writing. So
awesome.
yeah, we'll see what happens. It's a
I'm super stoked and
it's a
excited.
brave new world out there.
It is. It's incredible, and it's the pandemic was a lot, and I think we're all still processing.
Hmm.
Um, my therapist says you can't process trauma while you're in it, and we've
Right.
all been in a collective trauma, and I think still are to some degree, although the world feels a little more normal. But there's
Hmm.
been some gifts, and I love that that was a gift for you to really focus in on that desire.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. Yeah, it was something like, I didn't, I never really talked about it to a bunch of people, and oh, there's lightning now. Um,
Yeah,
um, I never really talked about it. I thought like just proximity to the industry would get me where I wanted to go, and that's not the case when you were trying to get into the director's chair. You know, I could stay on the line producer track and end up doing like the a Chris Nolan movie or something. You know what I mean? Where you're a line producer and you're on it for like 3 years and making a nice living, but it's not what I want to do. So am I going to be happy doing it? So
yeah,
always be thinking about what if or what should have I done. So I figure I'll take my 30s and do that.
I love that. I love that. I love that adventure for you. I love that journey for you. I'm so here for it. I'm excited. If there's anything I can do, let me know. And I can't wait to see what you've created and what you will create.
Thank you.
Before
Yeah.
we go, can you tell me what your rose and thorn of our film that we did together is? So, like, what was your like high and low? I guess.
Uh, well, the high was just that I think it is shot so beautiful and it's lit so beautiful. The guys did an amazing job. And actually, I really enjoyed the whole process of it. Like Ice's idea of like really keeping it where the actors don't see each other. And for people who don't know the story, it'll make sense when you see it because you're gonna go see it, right? So, just that whole thing. Like some people outside of the film were like, "How are you gonna do that? That doesn't even make sense. Like, how are you gonna keep them from, And I'm like, I don't know. They have a vision. I'm gonna try to help them make it. So that was, so yeah. So that process was cool and exciting and new. And the thorn, I would say, is it always comes down to just resources and just
Yeah.
you want to give the director everything they want or the departments whatever they want to help the director get there, and when you have a finite amount of resources and you're not able to do that, it's disappointing inside, but you got to still be disciplined.
Yeah.
So I'd say just being disciplined on the show and making sure we come in on time, on budget is very important to me.
You did
Reputation.
an
Reputation.
excellent job. You did an excellent, excellent job. We were very lucky to have you. And that is a constraint, but I find sometimes that there's more creativity when
Right,
one is constrained. So
right. I think so
a
too.
plus and minus.
And
Yeah.
that's what makes a good director is being able to, okay, this is what I have. I'm going to go out and I'm going to do it. I don't need that to create the art that I'm looking to do. So Ice did an amazing job with that, and Charlie and all the boys and girls.
Yeah. Anything else before I go? Anything that we forgot to touch on in terms of filmmaking in general, line producing, this film in particular?
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm glad you told me it's on the 24th, so I will make sure that I am
I'll send
there.
you all the details.
Yes. And yeah, no, line producing. If you like playing Tetris with numbers and you know that this is for you, and deal making. It's all about deal making and
Yeah, I was
relationship
gonna say,
building.
yeah, relationships because you had a lot of you bring a lot of relationships to a film
No,
as a line producer, and you specifically like great relationships with people and houses and rental gear and things, and like that's hugely important.
yeah, because it's when that's how you're able to get them to help you with the more passion projects. Is like, hey, I'm gonna bring you on this next one that I have coming down the road, and that one's got more resources to share, you know? Um, so yeah, so just developing those relationships, those friendships, and just being a good person to your crew is important. And I feel like not a lot of line producers are all the time. So I try to stand out in that regard to like, I want to be a friend, but still I'm watching your shekels, but
Yeah. Yeah.
but just developing that relationship with your crew is important.
Absolutely. I feel like Hollywood or filmmaking in this space is like high school kind of. At some point everybody knows everybody and
Yeah,
everybody's like
so
it's
small
one
world.
degree of separation.
Yeah, yeah, it
Yep.
really is.
Yeah.
So
Reputation is important.
yes, it's yeah, it's the best currency, and it takes only one time to mess it up. Um, so yeah, so that's very important to me.
Well, you have an awesome reputation and that's great advice for upcoming filmmakers to heed in whatever aspect of filmmaking they're working on.
Mm, thank you.
Thank you for doing this and it's so good to
Yeah,
see you.
this is it really was a treat and an honor to do this. I was like really thrilled when you messaged me about doing it, and I was like, yes, of course I'm gonna do it. I think
Aw,
this would be fun.
thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will look
So
forward to seeing you in a couple weeks in person.
yes, yes, that'd be awesome. I can't wait.
Awesome.
All
Take care.
right. All right, bye everyone. Thank you.
Bye. Bye, everybody. Thanks.
Bye.